What's up? What's up? What's up? Rick Paulton, Brewster, Ryan Inman. How's it going, fellas?
What's up, buddy?
What is up, Josh? How you doing, brother? Right on. Got your Friday the 13th hat. That's cool. So, how are things? How are things?
I'm not driving any divas to the airport, so I'm good.
You don't want to do that.
No. It's always a positive day when that's not on the itinerary.
When it's not. Got me a new shirt. You see? Took a picture of it the other day.
Oh yeah. DCS
Zigzag. What's up? Yeah. So I got my Death Curse Society Pride shirt, which is on sale right now for $19.99, I believe, $5 off at deathcursesociety.com. That is going through the end of June.
A bargain at any price.
A bargain at any price. They're good quality T-shirts. This color, which everybody's digging, you can't really see when you pick the color what it's actually going to be. But every time I picked one, they've turned out good. This is actually called Heather Sapphire. In the drop-down menu, they got like 30, 40 different colors. And this is called Heather Sapphire if you're interested.
Heather Sapphire, I knew her.
That sounds like a stripper, doesn't it?
Well, she only charged 30 for lap dances. Everybody else was 40. So
there you go.
It does
Heather
pay to
Sapphire.
yeah.
Right on. So, guys, see anything cool this week before we get into our topic? Anybody?
I finished Halloween Candy on the V stream.
Nice.
I think I might add that. It's a low budget horror, of course, anthology for Halloween. I really dug it. I mean, I probably will add that to my Halloween watch list from now on.
BK says he digs the music on the intro. That is Dislim. You can find them on YouTube and probably some other places. And that is Ryan Inman, our co-host here, as the singer.
Hey, it's free shit. We don't have to pay to license it. So
Yep. That's the best part about it.
You know, I jam out every time you play it.
Yeah, well, I got permission to use Hatrix had a song and he gave me permission to use it, but YouTube still flagged it every time. And we weren't getting enough downloads where we were monetized, or anything. But that day will hopefully soon come. So I didn't want to share our money with Jeff Hatrix.
no.
He's a good dude and everything. God damn.
I mean, you can only cut a nickel in so many pieces.
And
33%. So we're on the Spreaker app, and before we went on, I just went and looked because there's ads playing during our audio version of the podcast, and we have gained 2 cents. It will be split amongst the two of you. So each of us get, I don't know. There's a lot of math involved in that.
I'm the newbie right now. You can keep that one. On me, guys.
And we redid our intro video. I don't know if you guys noticed. It's got our new logo in it. And it's got Brewster's name in it. Did you see that, Brewster?
I caught that.
I actually missed that. I looked away to grab my drink.
Tiki didn't want to redo the whole thing. It's because it says starring Rick Paulton and Ryan Inman. He just tossed Brewster's name over on the side. It says Ed Brewster. I love it. It just makes it even better.
I know. It's Tiki.
It's quality shit.
That's my Pookie Bear.
Yeah.
I kind of like the and going last. So you could have just put him in the middle between us and not had to edit either of those.
Well, our names are on the same thing. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
On the old one, they weren't.
Yeah, they were.
On the old one, no.
The real old one, the one that Jared did, no.
No, the one with the Atrix music. We were separate.
Jared did that video for us. Jared Haggerty from Halloween Haunts 365. Leah Shelton, that's how many brain cells I have, right?
Yeah, she's not kidding.
Wow. All right.
See, I didn't see anything as cool this week as I did with that cat eating that mouse last week. So.
Oh, wait! There's that deal on cereal you talked about earlier. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to do an ad for a company that doesn't pay me though. I learned that when I had a radio show at WCSB back in the day. We had no ads because it was a college radio. Like you couldn't even like say that on the air just as like a tip to people. Like you could get big trouble.
Oh, really? So that's why the radio stations really don't do it then. You know, 'cause I know a lot of times it's like they're not a sponsor. You can't say who they are.
Exactly right. Now,
I didn't know that.
yeah, you
I
can't.
just
Yeah.
thought they were
I mean,
being-
we can. This is our own shit. We can do what we want. But I kind of learned, especially with advertising for a big company like that, you ain't getting it for free from me.
So we can advertise whatever we want.
Payola. Right on.
I'll advertise that.
Yeah, I got
Not
that
what's
too.
underneath.
Our friends with the bloody essentials. We got my koozie there. So you guys got any plans for the big guy's birthday tomorrow?
I have a Friday the 13th party at my buddy's house tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
Well, I got a haunted house that I'm going to, Factory of Terror, going with my sister, and it's gonna be fun. Pretty excited about that. Did you end up getting tickets for that thing at Killer Video or no, Ryan?
No, I'm not going to go.
Right on.
Something
Well,
else.
Killer Video is doing a double feature of Ryan's two favorite Friday the 13th. As a matter of fact, part 4 and 6.
Nice.
Something came up locally though, and I have plans. So
Oh, right on. Cool.
unrelated to Friday the 13th, unfortunately.
Is it related to Saturday the 14th?
Or Thursday the 12th, which is today, which is also
The prequel.
Brand from the B Streams movie.
He shared our talk and taste review for that movie.
I seen that. I was not on that one.
Pookie!
Tiki in the house is what's up. Oh, he redid his profile pic and took you out of it, Bruce. You guys,
I know. No, we're good. No, I mean,
That is a handsome man right there.
hands off is all mine.
See it? See he's
Yeah.
shirtless? Look at that. All right. So tonight we are going to rank, because we've ranked the final girls. We've ranked the not so final girls. We've ranked the films. We've ranked the Jasons.
Yeah.
And we haven't done, and what I've not seen anybody ever do,
Me too.
is rank male characters in the Friday the 13th series in celebration of Friday the 13th. So hopefully you guys did a list in the comments. You guys can post as we're going, and Ryan, you got a pen and paper to do a little thing about this? You know, what do we call it? Aggregate score?
Yeah, I'm gonna write
look
it
at
right. Right here's my
It's
pen.
on Ryan's screen there.
It's porn.
It probably was not. If it was
it's
porn,
fine.
no, it'd be that awesome.
My
There you go.
Xbox background.
It'd be that.
Oh,
It'd be that
football,
porn
baby.
that Friday the 13th Part 3 was based on.
Oh
Or-
yeah. Somebody reached out to me actually when I brought that up in the air about details about that, and they said they were going to write an article about it, but they never got back to me on
Yeah,
that.
there's a porn that Ryan discovered.
Yeah.
During research.
Well, I didn't discover it. The drummer from the band in the intro discovered it.
Oh,
And then he
Chad.
told me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was also the drummer for Iron Maiden, not Bruce Dickinson, the original singer.
Yeah, Paul Diano, who
Yeah,
passed away.
Definitely. But nevertheless, he found this porn that has the cabin from Part 3, it has the casino from Part 3, the van from Part 3, Higgins Haven. Yeah.
And the office that the sheriff and them are in from Smokey and the Bandit, because it's right down the street in real life.
Right,
It's like
so-
right down.
I don't know how to edit, so I was trying to edit it into a video that we could show, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I talked to Tiki about it or not, but yeah. But nevertheless, that was fun.
But
So
I
the way
did
we
not
do this-
have,
Go
like I
ahead.
said, real quick when we're on that topic.
Yeah.
Like I said, when we did first uncover that and like talk about it on the show, I did not have a young Ron Jeremy pedaling a bicycle up to the porch of Higgins Haven on any bingo card I've ever had. So
Because that happens in the movie.
it did happen in real life 42 years ago or so. So
So the way we do this is we go around we don't have a circle anymore. We got like a flat line here. So we'll go from you
flatline, what are we dead?
back and forth, and like one person will do their 13th, and then we'll all also do our 13th, but we'll start with a different guy for 12, and so on and so forth. It'll get really confusing. We'll get off line a couple times.
Yeah.
But doing it this way rather than listening to the whole list, it gives every person a chance to not get their thunder stolen, as it were.
Now let me ask you this: say I go first. I'm not saying I will, but say I do, and I say I give my number 13. Then it goes to you. If you have that person, will you say you do now, or will you wait till later?
I'll wait until I get to that part, and then if it will just move it on quick for me. Like, say you picked Tommy at 13. I know you didn't, and then it's 7. Like, it comes back around to 7, and I had Tommy at 7. I'll just go, yeah, I had Tommy at 7. We already discussed it, and maybe come up with something new then, but maybe not.
Okay.
All right. So Tiki says he'll make that the porno edit. We'll have to get him on that if we ever do something with that.
At least that'll be a more fun edit than just us talking.
We'll have to work that in for the next Friday the 13th, which I think is in
December.
Is it in December?
Isn't it? I thought it was.
No, there's not another one this year.
Oh,
this is the only one this year.
This past December was one.
Yeah, the past December was one.
That's right.
I don't know when the next one is, but we'll see. So, anywho, yeah, Ryan, you go first. Who is your 13th favorite male character in a Friday the 13th film, and why?
Okay, this was really tough. I actually had it narrowed down to 15 this morning, and I had to cut 2 guys off because only 13.
We'll mix in some honorable mentions later, I'm sure.
Fuck honorable mentions. You either make it or you don't. And I was really struggling, and I think the 2 guys I cut off were more. They had a bigger part than this person that made it, but I'm going to tell you who it is, and then I'll tell you why. And my number 13 is actually Granddad George from Part 5, A New Beginning.
Okay, cool. He did not. Well, yeah, I guess we're not supposed to reveal that, right? We can. He didn't make my list. He almost did, though. I had there was like 6 people from Part 5 that was like wanting to be on my list, but I did not put 6. I think I put 3.
I knew you'd at least a couple from that one, and I thought if he did make it on here, it would be you.
Yeah.
But I had to add him. Here's why. I recognize the actor from The Jeffersons. He didn't do much, but I recognize him from that. I don't remember his name, unfortunately, but he had a very small part, but he seemed just like a sweet old man. But when he comes up dead later, it's just such a gut punch compared to all these fodder characters that die.
Yeah.
And there's more fodder characters in 5 that die than any other one.
22 deaths, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
People just show up and get killed. But when he dies, and it's one of the last kills, you see at the end, it's just, oh man, it's so heartbreaking.
Right on. All right. Before we go to Brewster with his 13th, Josh has his list in the comments, so we're going to go with that real quick. He has Clay Miller at 13, Will Rollins at 12, Creighton Duke at 11. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that guy, but I know he's from Penn. Steve Freeman at 9, Sean Robertson at 8, Nick Rogers at 7, Court Andrews at 6, Reggie the Reckless at 5, Tommy Jarvis at 4, Shelly Finkelstein, because of course his last name's fucking Finkelstein, at 3, Paul Holt at 2, and his number 1 is Jack Burrell. All right, good list, buddy, good list. All right, Brewster, what's your number 13?
I had a couple, much like Ryan, I was kind of kicking around, and we'll do the honorable mentions later, but I got to go with Jake from Part 5. Basically, he was the John Cryer lookalike with a stutter.
Yeah. Kind of looked like Seinfeld, too.
Yeah, all right. So Seinfeld and John Cryer with a stutter.
Right on. Why did you pick this guy besides John Cryer with a stutter?
All right, so I'm gonna get probably booted off this for this one. 5 is actually like my favorite one because it was the first. Hold on, don't get mad.
No, I love it.
It was the first one I ever saw. I was on USA Up All Night, and
what was that chick's name on Up All Night?
Rhonda Shears.
Rhonda, yeah, hell yeah.
Rhonda Shears.
Hell yeah.
And because of that, I was in elementary school or something. I was able to watch this. And I remember watching this scene, and even as a young kid, because I was like late elementary school type of thing, I knew what the guy was going through. He's watching the movie, it's late night kind of thing. And he's trying. He gave it his best. I'll give him credit for that one, even though he he didn't know what to say or how to say it or anything. At least he still tried. And then when he struck out, he moved on to the next one. He was determined. You know what I mean? He didn't give up at the first sign of defeat, you know? And plus, it was just funny watching him fail. I mean, come on. We got to admit that one.
Yeah, it was definitely funny. Definitely. For me, for my 13th, I went with Mark Jarvis from Part 2. Mark Jarvis, the handicapped guy, got hit with the machete, bounced down the stairs. I always wondered, is he related to Tommy Jarvis? He has to be, right?
No, he's not.
We know that for a fact, or is that
I do.
speculation?
I know it for a fact.
All right. Right on. Let's see.
He just crushed Rick's dreams right there.
Yeah, I just wondered if it's ever been stated, because it's just kind of odd that they came up with the same name. But yeah, I just really good kill. He was a cool character. Horror is about inclusivity, and you got the handicapped guy that's not totally helpless, so gives people like that hope, and that's why he's 13. You know, just he's down the list. He's not super cool, but worth mentioning.
See, and I'll say this before we move on. He was one of the names that I cut when I had it
He
down.
came close.
He was right there.
Right on.
So he was one of the two.
Right
And
on.
the other one that I cut is from the same movie, but that's all I'll say.
All right, well, we'll
Ryan's
say
very
number 12.
secretive.
We're on that. What is
He's
your
very
12th favorite Friday the 13th character?
My number 12 is going to be Ali from Friday the 13th, Part 3.
And Ali was this close to making my list. This
He was-
close.
Yeah, he was cool. He was a badass. He gave Jason a fight, and he even came back. And
Came back later, got killed twice.
didn't come back. Chris probably gets got.
That's it. Ali. What was Nick Savage, right? Wasn't that his name?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely the little biker gang characters. My favorite of the three.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Ali was cool, man. Ali was a little
They
bit
were
of a
all
bad-
cool, but he was the best.
Right on. All right, Brewster. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. We got a comment here. Let's see. I think Ryan could tell me anything and say I know for a fact that I would question it. Right on. Brewster, what's number 12?
From Freddy versus Jason, Freeberg.
Freebird. Which one was he?
He was the Jason Mewes knockoff. The
Oh,
stoner
yeah,
guy.
hell yeah, dude. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
cool as hell.
And I remember watching that in theaters and just, I mean, it's clearly obvious. I think Craven and Kevin Smith had a little buddy thing going on back in the day, you know?
Oh, no, yeah, they were in each other's movies. Wes Craven did a cameo in a Silent Bob movie, right?
Jay and
And they were
Silent
in
Bob
Scream
Strike
3.
Back, and then Kevin Smith and Mewes did a cameo in Scream 3.
And I think it was shot the same day because it was at the same place.
Yeah, it was by the same company and everything, all the stars aligned.
Hell
But
yeah.
Freeberg was just fun to watch. And I mean, I was like probably you guys and everyone else watching this at our age, Jay and Silent Bob was the shit we grew up with. You know, I'm not even a pothead. I just love that shit.
I just seen Dogma in the theater the other day. It was freaking awesome.
Does it
Yo,
still
man,
hold up?
goalie was pissed.
Right on.
Who was pissed?
Yo, man, that goalie was pissed.
Exactly.
Zigzags 13. He's got Crazy Ralph. The only person to be in a Friday the 13th movie 3 or more times besides Kane Hodder. Well, the actor was. The actor was. He was in 2 movies as Crazy Ralph, and he was the narrator in part 7.
7.
Oh, the beginning intro.
Uh-huh. And
He's still down there.
Yeah, that same
Leah says she has that same shirt. And his brother is also the dude from Tucker and Dale, the fat one.
Oh, what is that guy's name? He played Sock and Reaper.
He's in the show my wife watches. It has something to do with like a hospital.
What is his name? He cameoed in Zack and Mary. I'm cheating and looking it up right now. 'Cause it's
All
gonna
right,
bother
look
the
it up.
piss out of me.
And while you're looking it up, I'll go with my number 12.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, part 4.
Mm.
Axel. I went with
Ah.
Axel.
All right.
And let's see. Dude from Police Academy. What's his shoot name?
Bruce Mailer.
All right, there it is. Yeah, see, I figured you could come up with it before I could find it on my notes.
Also the rabbi from Seinfeld.
And I'm actually, I
Oh,
got
yeah.
I got a couple names listed that I'm going to talk about maybe if we get to it. where I had little arrows pointing down because they sucked,
Yeah.
and Axel was like both. Like, because dude's just kind of a piece of shit, but he's so funny. I had to include him in the list.
Going back to Tiki's thing, Tyler Labine, Labine.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Hold on.
that's the guy.
I love Axel, man, and I actually forgot about him when I was making this. I don't think he would have made it, but I liked Axel.
Axel was cool, man. Axel was definitely cool. All right, number 11, Ryan.
Number 11 for me, and it's wild that he's this low, but there's 10 I like better. And number 11 for me is going to be Julius from Jason Takes Manhattan.
Julius is a beast.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
DC Dupree, one of the only good things about that piece of shit movie.
the only good thing.
No, he's not the only good thing, but he's.
You like the intro song? I know you like that.
Yeah, I like a few things about it, but yeah, he was terrific. His character was cool, and I'm surprised he's this low. But when I really ranked him, he just had to be. Sorry, VC. We love you.
Well, there goes that guy ever coming on the show. I've been working on.
No, he's gonna be on eventually.
VC Dupree. No, that dude's great. His scene in the movie is great. Yeah, he has his head from the movie. I really want to acquire it because it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm getting killed in a horror movie on Sunday, by the way. Hopefully they're gonna cut my head off. And I'll get my own head from a movie. That'd be sweet. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I just realized we weren't doing the thing where we switch who goes first, but fuck it, we're gonna keep going. This way's going kind of smooth. We're not getting tripped up.
Yeah, I'm not
Keep
complaining.
it going. 11 for you.
Oh, so mine aren't necessarily in order anymore. I just had the lowest ones, but I had also had Julius on there
That would be number 11.
Well, not the 11. Like I said, the last few 13, 12, whatever. Everyone else just kind of jumbled. I didn't decide what order to go in. But Julius is on my list.
It's
Yeah.
11. God damn it!
It's 11.
You're ruining the list. You just decided
Julius.
5. You don't have them decided.
Julius, he manned up to Freddy, he manned up to Jason at the end there. He was trying to kick his ass,
Right? He threw hands with him.
And then at his last line before he gets killed, "Take your best shot, motherfucker." I mean, bam! It's fucking great.
And they did a camera and threw it off the thing so it'd go.
Yeah.
It was a cool shot.
He talks shit to the very end. I can respect that.
Yeah, he was a beast for sure. All right. So my number 11, Friday the 13th, Part 3. That goddamn Finkelstein shit did.
Shelly.
I went with Shelly. Yeah, Shelly was great. Without Shelly, we don't have the hockey mask. Shelly was a comedian. He was freaking hilarious. Yeah, he was freaking awesome. Definitely one of the highlights of that movie because I don't know, man. That movie, I thought I liked it a lot more than I did until we did our rewatches, and that movie was way down the list for me and for Ryan than what it used to be, and it's still fun. It's just there's nothing really to write home about in it, and one of the few things in it to write home about is Shelley. So he made my list at number 11. And that would be on to
me.
See, I finally got used to pointing at him, and now he's over there.
See, my number 10, and I know this person for a fact will be much higher on Rick's list.
Yep.
I know for a fact. And I like the character. It just doesn't make sense that he exists.
I know exactly what you're saying.
And it's Creighton Duke from
Yep.
Jason Goes to Hell. It's a cool character, great performance, but the character doesn't make any logical sense in terms of why he'd even exist. But still a good character.
So I haven't seen that one in a minute. Remind me here. It's been
The bounty hunter type guy, the black guy.
Oh,
He's
okay.
the guy he's trying to find Jason to kill him, and he knows all this stuff about him. And
Yeah.
Ryan doesn't accept that he could have found out about him another way that we didn't see on the movie.
No.
But
No, because I don't consider that movie canon personally.
That is a weird one between Manhattan and that, where they have this.
as my friend Adam
Marcus
Marcus would say, it's canon, bitches. Deal with it.
Good for you.
All right. No, but he is awesome. Steve Williams. Great. He's going to be at did that already happen? Was that last year? Was that Motor City Nightmares or this year?
I think he was there last year.
last year, and I wanted to go and meet him, and I didn't get a chance to.
I'd like to meet him too.
Oh yeah, no, dude, he's awesome.
My favorite thing about Nine is him. And
speaking of Creighton Duke, Creighton Duke, our friend who was supposed to join us tonight, but conflict of schedule. Jason Pitts directed The Beast Within, I believe the name of it is, which is, I always screw up the title, but Jason versus Bigfoot. And that's got a little bit more backstory of Creighton Duke. And the young man that plays Creighton Duke in that is on point, man. He's
pretty good.
He's not Steve Williams.
No.
Yeah. But he does a really good job.
Yeah.
And I guarantee if Stephen Williams gets a chance to check that out, he'll dig it. So it's like a little bit of a backstory of Jason Goes to Hell. So it's pretty sweet. And it also has the two kids that are underneath the bed in part 6.
Yeah.
One of them grows up to be the main actor in the movie.
Yeah.
So if you haven't got a chance to check that out yet, you should check that out. And then if you don't, Jason gave us permission to use it in the Summer Screams thing that Tiki's putting together. So you can check it out then. All right, where are we at? Is it Brewster's turn?
Brewster's number 10.
Number 10.
Part 5, Demon.
Demon is all the way at 10. Wow.
He doesn't have that big of a part in it.
It's the impact.
It's the impact. So, again,
The show is named after the guy and everything.
Watching the movie as a kid, and I'm immature, man. The whole damn enchilada joke when he's rushing out of there, you know?
Fuck yeah, dude.
His voice is like honey as he was singing from the porta potty. And he was also in another movie with another character who's on my list, who's in this movie. He was in Return of the Living Dead.
Oh. He says, son of a bitch, don't announce it. I didn't know it was a secret, brother. My bad. All right, I will refrain from giving away anything I know about this. It says his 8 viewers are going to be so right on. All right, dude. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we got a couple heavy hitters from my list are already out, man, but we'll get to them, I guess. Where are we on 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put Stuart Charnas, Ted.
Part 2.
Ted from part 2. Which, yeah. See, I got. Is that Ted from part 2 or is that a different Ted? No, it's got to be Ted from part 2.
Ted from part 2.
What other Ted would even. I know there's more than one Ted, but there's none that would.
He's the Ted, though, man. And he was the other person that I cut that just missed.
And he was fabulous, man. Like,
I love Stu Charn. You know that, though.
Yeah, he was so good in that film, and he was also in Christine, right?
Yeah.
And something else we've seen recently. Right?
The most famous thing he's from, though, we've never talked about on this show, and I actually forgot about it until recently when I went back and watched a couple of these things. What's pretty much widely accepted as the greatest single episode of the X-Files ever, he's in it.
Oh, right on.
Plays a very prominent role.
Is that the which episode is it?
I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. I'm not the library for the X-Files. I'm not a huge fan.
Right on. See, that's another thing. See, I've never, like, we were talking off here about Seinfeld, how I've never seen Seinfeld, but I know about it. Never seen the X-Files, but it was such a big pop culture thing that I know things about it.
Oh my God, fucking Ted was in Once Bitten.
Yes,
yeah,
he was.
He was the obviously one of the vampires, but they all were like different time periods.
I'm remembering him in there now that you say is it. He was in something I seen the other day too. I can't remember what it was.
His line in there. I remember the day the Countess bit me was the most purest of my undead, or something like that. I watch that movie every Halloween. I fucking love that movie.
Hey, just like Harry Manfredini once said, I wish I was Stu Charno.
I'm looking up his X-Files thing. Oh, just one of the guys. He was in that one too.
Yeah, I love that movie.
That movie's great.
Too. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Kavina.
Right on.
The puppet.
Number 9, Ryan.
The puppet. Yeah, that's it. You're right. Now that I hear it, my number 9, and I juggled with him. I had him lower and then higher. I settled on him here, and it's actually going to be Clay Miller from the remake.
Jared Padalecki, right?
Yeah, Jared Padalecki from
Yeah.
Supernatural.
Supernatural. He
Whatever.
almost made my list.
He was actually close to making my list, more so I think for how big of a deal he became later.
I didn't take that into consideration at all, and I'm glad that
And that's
didn't.
why I did that, and
Didn't?
that's why I didn't put him, because that's the reason I was thinking about putting him, is just because how big of a
But-
deal he became later.
I'm not.
He
the
almost made the list.
I'm not the biggest fan of the remake, but he was very good for the main protagonist. Pretty much being a male is unheard of in a Friday. Well, other than something
Wasn't
we'll
he?
get
I mean,
later.
in the Friday the 13th movies, it happens more often than other movies.
We'll talk about it later. But yeah, I have him at 9, and I think it's a very deserving spot.
Yeah. All righty then, Brewster, number 9.
Number 9, I'm going with Vic from Part 5 because we all wanted to kill Joey.
We all wanted to kill Joey. How about that?
And Vic was the other actor I mentioned.
Trying to help people, man. He wasn't hurting nobody.
We all wanted to kill him. Look, be honest, man. It's okay. Let it go. You'll feel better. We all wanted to kill Joey.
I think that pick is really out of line.
Exactly. Well, hold on.
Out of line, Bruce.
This is what I mentioned earlier. Vic was the other guy who was in the movie Return of the Living Dead with Demon.
Yeah, he
They're
was.
both in the same 2 movies.
Yes, they are.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Right on. And see, Tiki says that he was a couple seasons in on Supernatural at the point he was in that movie. Okay.
They were they're around 4 or 5. That's what made Friday the 13th remake look like a bigger budget episode of Supernatural, is because of Jared Padalecki's performance.
Mhm. Well, at that time, I had no idea who he was.
Neither
Found
did
out about it after. All right. So where we at? We're at me with 9?
Your 9.
All right. Me with 9. I have Ron Milkey, Officer Dorf, or the guy that treated me like Bill Cosby and chastised me over Ryan's pick of the final girls and my swearing. A couple weeks ago, I read the email he sent me. I don't have it handy, man, but he chastised me like a father. It was so funny.
So we have Officer
Funny,
Fuddy
man.
Duddy Dorf checking in at number 9. You can go sit on it, Tonto.
He was one of only 2 people I picked from the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, that scene with him, he's only in the one scene.
Wasn't
That
supposed to be there.
That was the scene that Ron Kurz wrote for part 1. He would go on to write all of part 2.
Right, and that scene wasn't. It was just thrown in because they just needed something.
Yeah, you could tell.
Somebody hated it. Who hated it? It was either Victor Miller didn't like it or Sean didn't like it. I don't know. One of the other.
Victor Miller didn't like it. Sean put it there.
Yeah. All right. So we're on to you, Ryan, with your number 8.
My number 8, and we're going to go back to a really shitty movie one more
2
time.
people from part 8 made it?
Yeah, Charles McCullough, of course, because Peter Mark Richmond is one of the best actors in this whole franchise, and the character is great too.
And the character is great, and I think he gets a bad rap. He's often viewed as one of the antagonists, like the bad guys, but he wasn't really. He was just looking out for his freaking niece.
He's still an asshole, though. But
didn't he try to drown her?
Yeah,
he was trying to teach her how to swim. That's old school, dude. That's the way they did it. He was trying to get her.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I get you. Yeah, I see
down.
I see it. Yeah, you got a point, man. It's old school.
What was best for his niece? That's all.
That's old school. Good choice.
And have him on the wall back there, courtesy of Ryan. He's right there.
Bop. Yeah, from his Outer Limits episode because he passed away.
Outer Limits card, yeah.
We can't get him on anything Friday the 13th, unfortunately.
Plus, he turned down that blonde piece of ass in part 8. You know, he could have just.
If he was a jerk, he would have been doing that.
Yeah, he would have shut the door and done his thing, man. Like a lot of teachers nowadays do.
Don't get me into Tamara Mason again. I'm not going.
There's a clip that was like one of the only things I was able to clip out of a show to do like a little thing, and made that into like a TikTok video. Ryan's rant on her. It was
Worst character ever.
It was with the hourglass gimmick that he had for a while. The whole minute was him doing her, and it was
I
awesome.
gotta check that shit out.
You can find it on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to said YouTube channel so we can start getting pennies from that.
It's too hard to cut up 2 pennies be 3 ways, right?
I know, right? So we get at least another penny from the YouTube. It'll be sweet.
We're all good there.
Yeah, then we can each have one. Tiki said, I wish you all smoked cigarettes and make this a whole lot cooler.
I got you, Tiki.
Where we at? We're number 9. Brewster's 9?
Brewster's 8.
8.
Brewster's 8. I'm going with from Freddy versus Jason, Deputy Scott Stubbs.
That is he's got a funny name.
Lachlan Monroe.
Lachlan Monroe.
There we go. Yeah, he was in Scary Movie Night at the Roxbury too.
All right.
I liked it because he
I like
helped
the
out
name
the
Lachlan.
kids. What's that?
You don't meet too many Lachlans.
Canadian.
Well,
Canadian name?
He's very Canadian.
I know, but I mean, is there such thing as Canadian names? It's like
Couldn't tell you.
I would say
Hoser
it's Irish.
Mick Molson.
Scottish.
That's the Canadian name.
I'm gonna go with Scottish. I mean,
No.
I bet you it's Scottish.
his
Lachlan
character,
sounds Scottish, but he's Canadian.
Yeah.
his character was definitely the rookie, and when he pulled up and they're screaming at him, he's like, "You need some assistance." But he took it more serious than that. Well, they didn't take it serious because they wanted to keep the thing contained, but he looked into it, and he was there helping him out, going off the books, kind of thing, you know. So he was like legit
Canadian. Got this in the mail the other day. Got this right here. From our buddy Ernst Hart. Says to the whole damn enchilada pod. And it says, all the best, Ernst, and pancakes.
Yeah.
Mr. Campese, my favorite character that he's ever played. And he said that this is the first time anybody's asked him to sign something from that movie. But I love that movie. And I didn't even realize he was the guy in the movie until I was doing research to have him on the show. And I was like, oh, shit, dude. You're Campese.
Mm-hmm.
That was really nice of him to send that to me. It was pretty awesome. And
Another quick bit about Lachlan Monroe.
mm-hmm.
He was in a movie way back. I want to guess this was around 99, 2000, called Dead Man on Campus. That
Yes,
starred Mark.
MTV movies.
It was the first like film that Mark Paul Gosselaar did after the whole Saved by the Bell. Zach.
I know
Morris.
this. I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
It was a Lifetime movie or something, right?
No, it was not a
MTV.
Lifetime movie.
They wanted the roommate to die, right?
Well, they wanted to get somebody to commit suicide as a roommate so they could get straight A's in college.
Yeah, that was.
I thought it was where Mark Paul Gosselaar was raping girls.
No.
That was
That
with
was
Candace. What's her name? Candace Cameron.
She was in that too?
He's not in
No.
Dead Man on Campus.
No,
No, but the one Rick's talking
Raping
about, she
movie.
was in.
From Lifetime.
Yeah, the one
Why are we
Rick's
talking
talking
about
Steve
that?
Wilson.
Lachlan Monroe's not in that.
Well, that's why I thought you were talking about that movie. I'm not familiar enough with the movie to know
All right.
every person in the cast.
I'm pulling the hourglass card here.
Thank
So
you.
Ron Ryan's talking about is the second movie in MTV Studios after Joe's Apartments, where they want the straight A's, they want the guy to commit suicide, correct?
Yes.
Rick, the one you're talking about is with Candace, what's her name?
Candace Cameron.
Cameron
Yeah,
Bure.
from Full House. She was Kirk
Yeah.
Cameron's cousin or sister or something. Yeah, where Zach Morris essentially raped her on campus. And yeah, so
Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that was her in the movie.
Yeah, we had to watch that in my health class in high school.
She just made a post the other day. I don't know if you guys seen it. Speaking of
She's doing
Candace
a con.
Cameron. What's that?
She's doing
She's
a
doing
con.
a con, and somebody asked her about horror, and she says she doesn't even let people
The
in her
portal.
house watch horror movies because they're a portal to demons and shit
Yep.
like that. Oh, Jesus Christ.
portal.
People.
She's crazier than a shit house rat, dude.
So who's crazier, her or her brother?
Her brother.
Yeah, because her
She's
brother's
pretty
whack.
fucking crazy. She's pretty crazy, but her brother is total fucking slime bag.
Well, they're both married to Jesus, aren't they?
Yeah. Hey guys, St. John's, Michigan, Jason in the house. Rob Dow, who's going to be at the Michigan Horror Museum in Monroe, Michigan tomorrow. Take pictures with him, and it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. I
All
will
right,
not
Ricky.
be there, but I wish I could.
You're number 8, Rick.
My number 8. Okay, we've digressed long enough. I picked from Friday the 13th, Part 5, one half of the greatest duo in Friday the 13th history.
Junior.
I got Junior, Ron Sloan.
Ah,
Ron Sloan, he's freaking amazing. I got to hold his head, which is also in a picture back there somewhere, but it might be hidden by Jason / Michael. But yeah,
Yeah,
Was
we
our-
were fortunate enough to get autographs of her, but we weren't fortunate enough to meet her.
Yeah, she was sick, and this was shortly before she passed, actually. But she was supposed to be at the con as well, and she signed some stuff and sent it with Ron.
Right.
So I do have an 8x10 signed by her and Ron,
Same.
and I was able to meet Ron and hold his head from the movie, the actual head, which was awesome. And yeah, and Lorena pops in. She's working, not supposed to be here. Muffin.
And you just sold her out, Rick.
Yeah, she got Muffin on the list, and I said it's male characters only, and she says Muffin is Muffin.
Well,
So-
we said no. I clarified this: no dogs, because I would have picked Gordon from part 4. It would be like number 1 because he was the smartest character. He got out of there.
Yeah, he left. He was out.
yeah.
He beat feet.
Yeah, no dogs and no Jason because everybody have him number 1.
And what about what were you saying? The one that wouldn't make it? Remember, I was telling you I had some negative people, and you wanted to
Oh,
put somebody.
Toby! Fuck Toby from part 8. That piece of shit. Mutt. Dude, he watched his owner get thrown overboard and not only did he not bite, he didn't even growl at the bitch who did it. Fuck that dog.
She says she's a ghost. Woo!
So if I ever meet Jensen Daggett, who we dragged enough on this show, I'm gonna wear a big shirt that says "fuck Toby" on it when I go.
Oh yeah, I make my own rules. Right on. Where are we at? I'm losing our spot.
7.
My number 7. I got it
That
under
way.
control.
That way.
And my number 7, and I have him a little higher than Brewster did, but not as high as you, Rick. And it's going to be our boy Demon.
Demon. Okay, yeah,
I
he's
bet that-
definitely not as high as I got him. Demon. All right. So we'll jump over to you for your number your number 7, Brewster.
Oh, I'm with you, Rick Jr.
Junior, you got Junior at 7. Cool.
I felt bad for him. I think he was slow, and I think his mom beat the hell out of him. He just wanted her approval. You know what I mean? I don't think deep down, yeah. She's like, you're not so good looking yourself. You're right. I'm not so good looking myself. I mean, I think he just wanted. Yes, I felt bad for the guy.
Would you shut the fuck up?
That's from we used to do the dildo of the week segment. We haven't done one of those in quite some time.
I felt bad for the guy.
I'll just get this out here now. I like part 5 a lot, and those two entertained the hell out of me. Junior did not make my list.
Right on. All good. Rob says they're working on a Friday the 13th game. Well, I hope they are, and I hope it doesn't suck, but everything I've seen from that Jason Universe thing does not give me good hopes, high hopes.
Jason Universe is strictly like, yo, let's sell units at Hot Topic. That's all that shit is, man.
That's
fuck.
still around.
I mean, give me some good looking shit though. That Jason that they showed where his clothes are all perfectly clean and pressed and his mask is goofy. Nah.
He's Wall Street, Jason.
Yeah, something, man. I don't dig it. All right, where are we at? We're at my number 6, right?
7.
Is it 7? Oh, and I think this is the first time he's came up or on this. First time he's been listed though. I got Crazy Ralph.
Okay.
It's the first time we've had him, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, Crazy Ralph because he's been in. We've said it, earlier. He's been in 3 movies. It was starring in 2. If it has a universe at the end of it, it shall be exercised to hell by me. Fuck all that shit. Thank you, Charles, for commenting because you reminded me. After the show at 8:00 on the Rumble app and YouTube and Facebook. He's not on YouTube, Facebook as well. He's going to be doing the original Friday the 13th movie for the 45th anniversary. So go over there and check that out with him. That's what I'm going to do after this. I've seen it twice this week already, but a third time it won't hurt. All right. So that where are we at? We're back to you, right?
My 6.
You're 6. We're moving along. We're 45 minutes. We're doing pretty good.
My number 6 is from Friday the 13th, Part 6, and it's going to be Sheriff Garris.
Sheriff Garris. Okay.
One of the more better acted roles. David Kagan is fantastic. And he just totally is that small town sheriff, like cliche.
Oh, absolutely.
And he really is that middle ground between Tommy and the other people and everything. So I've always Deputy Rick Cologne's fun, but he's not a good character. Sheriff Garris is a good character that was necessary for that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I didn't pick anybody from part 6. Well, sort of. I picked one person.
Of course you did.
I think we all picked the same sort of
Yeah.
from part 6.
But yeah, no, he was kicked around in my head a couple times. I was thinking about old Sheriff Garris, but I did not pick him. All right, so we're on to Brewster. This way.
Yep.
I'm going with Mark from Freddy vs. Jason, the guy who steals the pass key to get them out of the insane asylum.
Oh, okay. So the one whose brother was already dead, and his brother was from A Christmas Story.
Zach Ward.
Yep. Baby Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
I just like that his friend needed his help, and he just went and acted literally ape shit to get doped up and get him out of there. And he just wanted to find out what was wrong, what happened to his brother and shit. I mean, he was a loyal dude, and he was good in an episode of Supernatural too.
He's most certainly the best character in that movie, but nobody from that movie made my list. But if anyone did, it would have been him.
I was thinking about putting his brother, and just because of the Cleveland connection with the Christmas Story. But again, that's why he didn't make it, because there's nothing to do with the movie. But
no, it doesn't.
Paula's listening down under. So is everyone in the house, as it is on speaker. Awesome. She's in Australia. Let me see. This is Gunn and Ilphonic are working on it with Kane Hodder.
That's the same studio that made the other Friday the 13th game. How is that possible? Why? That doesn't make sense.
No, I did hear that Gunn was coming back with something.
But why couldn't they just unlock the fucking game that already exists?
Because Ziggy says put another shrimp on the Barbie. No, because the rights thing was all screwed up, and now that they got it back, the people they want to. I don't know, dude. It's some legal mumbo jumbo. Yeah, of course.
It is fucking dumb, and it shits on the fans.
But it's also why all the T-shirts were pulled from all these websites, but yet very soon we're going to start to see them again.
Yeah, with Jason Universe mask.
I hope. I hope they license the old.
I'll never spend $1 on it if that's the case. So.
No, I won't either because it looks retarded. I'm not.
You're number 6, Rick.
No, I want to see the artwork.
Yeah, I thought it'd be me who would break that rule first.
Yeah, I try not to because it is wrong, but back in the day, it wasn't a thing. I don't know. Anywho, number 6.
Yeah,
Julius.
Okay,
I got Julius.
I got no problem with that at all. Having him that high, I thought he would be that high until I really started rocking and rolling.
Maybe he was when he fought Jason.
I got a guy coming up that I could have swore that Ryan would pick, and I'm curious to see if he did.
Oh, you'll find out.
I will find out.
Well, my number five is someone you already mentioned, and it's Crazy Ralph. He had to make the top 5 for me, man. He had to.
Again, he's in 3 movies.
Yeah. Well, Crazy Ralph's in 2.
Crazy Ralph's in 2. Well, we don't know for sure that wasn't Crazy Ralph doing the narration.
But Crazy Ralph's dead. How can he do the voice?
From beyond?
Hey, wait. In the show Oz, that guy Augustus Hill died in a season finale, but narrated the last season even though he was dead. So anything's possible.
Did his character narrate it, or did he narrate it?
His character did. He was still in the cell in the wheelchair and stuff. And he started the episode off with saying, "I know I'm supposed to be dead."
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So it could happen.
Augustus Hill.
Yeah, he was great.
He was fun. Ryan Riley was my favorite of that show. His scheming made me want to tune in every week.
Right on.
And we just sat through a Hellraiser 6 that starred him. So
it's Hellseeker. I didn't hate that one.
Speaking of Hellraiser, Megan, who follows the show, and she was like, when she seen what we were doing this week, she's like, you guys are doing anything you can to stay away from the Hellraiser reviews. And the answer is yes. Yes. We have at least 2 more weeks of Hellraiser entertainment.
6 was better than 5. So
I'm no hurry to watch Deader because you guys, the next one you guys are on part 7, right?
Part 7 is next, yes. So but next week, before I forget, we'll talk about what we're doing next week real quick. We're going to be doing next week, we're doing What is Horror, where we discuss what makes a horror movie, what makes the horror genre, what doesn't, what is to some people, it isn't to others. And it should be a really fun discussion that I've wanted to have forever. And Red Crank from Death Curse Society has finally found the time to do it. And I knew I had to do this show with him. So there's that. That's what's going to be going down next week. So be ready for that. And where are we at in this countdown?
Brewster's number 5.
5. 5 10.
Reckless Reggie.
All right. I also have it number 5.
Reckless Reggie. He was the first one that Tommy Jarvis took a liking to in part 5. You know,
he was the final girl in that movie. Even
Yeah.
though we had the other final girl on the show, and we love her. I didn't say that when she was on the air.
No, you didn't, because it's a lie.
Reggie the Reckless.
He
the
was just,
final girl.
you know, was trying to make friends, and he, you know, Tommy Jarvis was the first one, or he was the first one that Tommy Jarvis took a small shine to by giving him that little smirk with the spider and the, you know, Halloween mask.
Oh yeah.
You know, and yeah, he was the final girl and stuff, but it was that scene between the two of them. It's like Tommy kind of saw something of himself in the kid,
Right, which is Tommy was the final girl in 4,
exactly.
you know, and then 6. But yeah, I got Reggie the Reckless as well.
You both had Reggie at 5. That's cool.
Yeah,
I can't
From
hate
part
on that.
5.
Reggie did not make my list, but I can't hate on it.
I was that'd be. Oh, you already did 5. I was gonna say that'd be crazy if you used your 5 too. But
Crazy Ralph was my 5. So we're on to my number 4.
number 4.
And this is the last of my heel characters to make my list. And it's Dr. Cruz from The New Blood.
You know what? And like again, I had
talked
the
about
list
this.
with the bad guys that I don't like. That you know the negative worst guys on the list, and he was on that list. But he was such a good bad guy that he almost made my list.
And just like Peter Mark Richmond, Terry Kaiser is way too good of an actor to be in these fucking movies in the first place.
Weekend at Bernie's, right?
We're
Yeah.
gonna burn it, absolutely.
He outclasses everyone with his acting, even though this movie is middle of the road, Friday the 13th for me. But he is phenomenal in it. His character is very, very despisable. And it's great. You could really see somebody like that trying to exploit people, kind of like who's that fake psychic chick that was on all them shows that just lied to everyone to exploit everybody. She finally passed away recently.
Oh,
but-
Cleo,
No, not Miss Cleo.
but she did too.
That Warren chick?
No, it's not. It's
I know who it is. She's the one that she found the missing chick, and really, she was one of the ones, if I'm not mistaken. She was the one that told Amanda Berry's mom that
she was dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her, you got it right. But I don't
remember her name. But yeah, her.
But yeah, he's like that. You know, just a total sleaze. Will do anything for $1.
Anything for himself.
Yeah.
Don't worry about anything.
Like throws a woman in front of himself to try to save himself.
He is the worst of the worst. Did we do a bad guy countdown too? Did we do that?
No.
We will someday.
No, but he's number 1.
Yeah, he's number 1. Spoiler alert.
He's number 1.
Well, him or Melissa from the same movie.
Well, we're including girls then. Okay, you said bad guys, so we're talking about guys.
Guys in
Sylvia
general.
Brown, you got it.
Yes, that's her name. Thanks, Ziggy.
Yep, that fucking cunt, and I don't use that word.
Oh man, good stuff.
All right, Brewster, you're number 4, bud.
I'm literally changing my answer right now from what my original number 4 was. I'm going with the part 7 thing here. I'm going to say that chick's father, although I can't remember his name because I just changed my answer, because he saves her ass at the very end of the movie.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I was
his name was.
It's good to know you're
John.
paying attention, Rick.
His name is John.
John, yes. So he was, he was a dick in the beginning of the movie, hence why she did what she did. But he kind of redeemed himself after death by saving her ass from Jason at the very end of the movie.
right on.
And it's a weird twist that I didn't see coming when I first saw it. Even though it's supernatural movie, it was still just kind of, it seemed out of place, but I thought it was pretty cool because I didn't see it
He
coming.
comes out of the water after 10 years with nothing but a dirty face.
Oh, that guy. That
Yeah.
guy was on my negative list. He was
Yeah,
like
Really?
on
I
there.
hate that character person.
I was trying to pretend I knew what you said because I really didn't, because I was distracted. And I'm like, somebody give me a clue where I know who the hell you're talking about.
Well, he he redeemed himself at
John
the end.
wasn't enough.
He saved her,
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, and it was so stupid that they made him cut the real scene.
I don't remember that. And I'll have the box set. I'll get it in a second.
In the real scene, John Carl Buechler, who did the the makeup. One of the best effects guys ever. He was also
Yeah.
involved with the Hatchet series. He did this sweet zombie-like makeup for the dude because the dude's dead.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, that's
Ben-
too much," and they made him cut it and then reshoot it with him with his face dirty.
Oh,
Which,
gotcha.
like, why wouldn't he look like a skeleton or something crazy? He's been under the freaking water forever. But yeah, that dude was he was kind of a piece of work.
He'd just be bones at that point, you know.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously they're not gonna make a skeleton do it, but you know. But what they did looked cool. Look, yeah, you could just look up the image from it. It'll probably come up really.
Well, we just watched a special feature on part 7 later.
Is it on there though?
I think so. It's been I got it
Yeah.
for Christmas of 2018. It's been a minute so much
It's there.
special features on it.
It's there.
Okay. Where we at? Where we at? Help me out. Number 4. My number 4. And here's somebody I would have sworn was on Ryan's list. Well, Ryan will probably give it away if he is on his list now. The only person I have from Jason X,
Mhm.
Brodsky.
He was a great character.
He didn't make your list.
I don't know.
Oh, he's no selling it. No,
Maybe he
Brodsky
did.
was a beast, dude. It's gonna take more than that to kill an old dog like me. What do you say?
Yeah, and then he stabs him again. Yep, that ought to do it.
That ought to do it. But it didn't kill him because he did come back, and then he died later. But he was. I will fully admit that Jason X is not a good movie, but it's one of my favorites in the series.
love it.
I absolutely love it.
I like
It
it
was,
more than
Yeah,
What's
I
that?
mean, yeah. Jason X. He said he likes it more than me.
I do.
Oh, okay.
It was made my top 5.
You know, yeah, it's really good. I like everything about it. They don't try to, make they don't try to be anything they're not. You know, it's good kills. Speaking of which, from there, real quick, because I don't think it's going to come up on anybody else's list either. But I was really close to putting Cronenberg, just because he's David Cronenberg.
He
But
dies in like 2 seconds, though.
it was more than that.
4
It was more than
seconds.
that, but yeah. But he's the reason that Jason got freed. Charles Sherrod says, "Great show, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side. Got to get ready for Friday the 13th. He's doing the OG tonight. Should be fun. Tune in on the Rumble app, and we should be done real shortly before the movie starts on there."
Yeah.
Where we at?
Back
Ryan's
into our
number
top
3?
3.
We're in the top 3.
Yep. My number 3 is Tommy Jarvis.
Tommy Jarvis, also my number 3.
And
If you have a 3, you could say 2, but if you don't, then wait.
yeah, if he's not your 3, then wait. Yeah. I thought he might be number 1 going into this, but he's
I
not.
did too, but he's
I'll
not.
explain why later. I already know at least one person Rick has above him because he hasn't said them yet. So
Two people above him, and you know who they are.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Tommy at 3. That's still very fair. There's 3 different versions of Tommy, but we can only use them once. It isn't like a Mick Foley thing where we can use Mankind and Cactus Jack.
Who was your favorite Tommy actor?
It's
Can
so
you pick?
tough. I like all 3 for different reasons.
There's so good parts of each one of them, man.
I have to go with Tom Matthews.
All right,
1, Corey at 2, and Shepard at 3. Even though I still like Shepard,
yeah,
even though he said like 17 words in the whole movie, it was
I
still
think it was seriously, it was like real low.
yeah.
His word count was.
I think it's 17 words.
I think it is. But his part of the character was played so perfect.
That and he
Dealing with all the trauma and everything.
yeah, and he invented John Cena's finishing move. So
Yes, he did, didn't he?
yeah, through a table too.
Through a table. Oh man. Yeah, I think I would it's so tight, man. I mean, I might go Corey over Tom Matthews. I might not. Both are so great.
I got to go with Tom though. He's got the Canadian tuxedo and the vest on. He's got the jean jacket and the fucking like vest kind of deal.
Zingy puts his top 3, man. He's got Paul, Tommy, and he's got Chuck at number 1. And we all know why Zigzag picked old Chuck at number 1. Oh man. All right. So
Brewster 3.
okay. I wasn't sure if you were done.
I'm going with part 4, Jimmy, played by Crispin Glover.
Jimmy.
Because-
Jimmy almost made my list, and he would have, but I forgot. And then when you brought him up in our group chat,
Yeah,
I was like, damn, how did I forget him? He probably would have bumped out Mark.
his dance moves were off the hook. And fun fact, that is legit how Crispin Glover would dance at the nightclubs back at the 80s. He
Yes.
wasn't doing anything for the role or anything like that. That was legit how he would dance when he would go out.
And that was him dancing to AC/DC because that was the track
Yes.
name. They didn't want
Back
to
in
pay for
black.
the rate.
Yes.
Yep.
And I've been looking for the song that actually was playing because I love that underrated 80s shit. So I'm trying to find the name of that. So I got to try IMDb and look for it later.
It's in IMDb.
It's called Your Love Is a Lie, and the band's name is Lion.
Thank you.
That works too. You know, you got to look it
Wait,
up.
Lion, is that the same one that did the Transformers theme song for the cartoon movie?
I don't know. That I don't know.
Check. I'll let you know. I'll hit the group chat later.
Just
I know.
Lion. It's not White Lion. It's just Lion.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Lion did that.
Oh yeah, we know it's not White Lion.
No.
All right. And
So you
Ziggy also, Love Is a Lie.
Love
Thanks,
Is a
buddy.
Lie by Lion. So you had Tommy at 3 as well, Rick.
I did. So you can go with your number 2.
My number 2 is Jimmy from Part 4.
Okay, so Jimmy's getting some love.
Yeah,
Made
he.
the list.
And I'll tell you another thing about him is, unlike most of the counselor type people, even though that wasn't at a camp, but I just refer to him as that because it's just easy. They're usually there as bait. His character had a full arc that completed, and not many people can say that.
Yeah.
Crispin Glover went on to be a well-known actor, but there was already glimpses of him in that. He's very, very, very relatable to a lot of guys, I would think. And
Are you saying we're all dead fucks?
well, Lawrence Moronson, who played his buddy in that, I like their chemistry too together. They
Yeah.
are two good friends that bust each other's balls.
That's the other Ted.
Yeah, Teddy Bear. Last American Virgin, good movie actually. He did right before this. But yeah, Crispin is fantastic in this, and a year later, everybody in the world knew who he was. So
Back to the Future.
yeah, due to another guy with a jeans and
Yes,
orange vest.
Sandra Cass from the Horrorcraft podcast says, "Hey guys, happy Thursday the 12th." And if you notice in the description of the show, I accidentally hit shift when I put the 1 for 12, and it made an exclamation point. And I was
saw
like,
that.
I'm not going back and changing it. It is what it is. Fuck it. So there we are. I'll change it when I post it on Spreaker for our audio version of the podcast that 10 people have listened to. Thank you to you 10 people. Let's get 10 more, and we'll get 2 more cents.
So Brewster's
Getting
number
up there.
Brewster's number 2.
We got number 2?
We're on at least number 2, unless you already said your number 2.
Oh, because he just picked Jimmy. That's when my Tommy Jarvis comes in as number 2.
That's where your Tommy Jarvis is 2. So it's my number 2.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And this was tough. Ryan knows what my 2 and my 1 is. He doesn't know the order.
Nope.
This was very tough, man, because Creighton Duke is one of my favorite characters in the whole series. I really like him, and especially when I seen the backstory in the movie we were talking about earlier. Steve Williams, a great actor. I get who he was and why he was. I understand there was 20 years in between us seeing him. Other things could have happened that we didn't know about. I'm okay with that. But the Duke was fucking awesome. He's not dead, by the way. And there is a script that exists about him going. He's number 2, by the way, in case you didn't catch that. And you can write down number 1 while you're at it, because you know what it is. But number 2, he's not dead. There is a script that exists going forward after what happens, and maybe someday it'll see the light of day. Who knows? And I love him. The greatest part about that movie for sure. And honorable mention, Steven in that movie almost made my list too, but not quite. He's bootleg Tommy, which he was supposed to be Tommy because of rights issues. He couldn't be Tommy. So Tommy really would have been in 4 different movies if the rights weren't screwed up. Like they were not allowed to use Friday the 13th, and they were not allowed to use any of the characters from the previous movies, excluding Jason.
Just Jason. Yep.
Yeah. So Steve in essence, is Tommy. But that's kind of why he didn't make my list, because he's the weaker of the Tommies. And we already had Tommy, but there you go.
All right.
So I guess we're down to number one.
My number one is Sergeant Brodsky from Jason X.
Okay, nice. I didn't think he'd be your one, but I knew he'd be on your list.
He's my number one. I wrestled with putting Jimmy at one and Tommy at one. It was between those three, and I went with him because other than a girl with psychic abilities, he gave Jason the toughest time out of anyone.
Yeah.
And he have psychic abilities and weird plot armor.
No.
No, and he's the guy. If it was human Jason, I think he would have kicked his fucking ass.
Yeah.
If this was Steve Dash would have been in fucking tears having to face Brodsky.
And it did take Uber Jason to ultimately dispatch him.
It did.
Because he didn't, when he said that'll do it, he really wasn't dead. He came back.
But he still, even when he came back and he was already wounded, and it was Uber Jason, he still went right to him. He was like, let's fucking go, dude. And the performance was good, and he had the one-liners, man. Like, there were actually a lot of great one-liners in that movie. And only part 6 has that kind of humor in it, and that's probably why I love X so much. But yeah, Brodsky was a real badass, man.
Absolutely.
Tougher than him and Yeah, I would have liked to see him in the Ted White version of Jason go at it, actually. That would have been good.
Yeah.
That would have been a good close fight.
All right, Brewster, who's your number one?
I had to give it to the OG, the answer to my trivia question this week. Jack, played by Kevin Bacon.
Jack was somebody else's one. I think Josh earlier.
Because I got to give props to Kevin Bacon because we all love him, and he's actually got more horror movies under his belt than people are aware of. If you actually look at
he was in Maxine.
He's in Maxine. He's in Tremors. There's one called, I think, We Should Have Left. I have to look into The Darkness.
Yeah.
They, Them. What's that?
You're missing a big one.
Yeah.
Missing a big one.
You're missing a real big one.
It's my favorite Kevin Bacon movie.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, I actually just recorded an episode on this movie with these fine folks at Bloody
I didn't know that's did you tell me that's the movie you did, or did you just tell me you watched that movie? Okay, nevertheless.
Would you count Hollow Man, or is that sci-fi horror kind of
That's
thing?
fine.
Sci-fi horror count, and we'll talk about that next week.
All right, there you go. See, there you go.
What is the name of the damn movie? Oh my god, I know the movie. Oh my god, it's killing me.
I'd look up his filmography, but I don't have 7 hours.
No, don't do that.
All right.
Stir of Echoes. It took me a minute.
Stir of Echoes.
Is that the big one, do you think?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so good.
I've seen it. It's been a minute.
Okay.
I've seen it, yeah.
Amazing.
When you find out what's going on,
they
it's
did
fucking
the sequel. They did the sequel at Rob Lowe. You ever see the sequel?
No.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
I never saw Hollow Man 2 either.
On July 25th, you'll get to hear myself and the folks from Bloody Essentials do a super deep dive into Stir of Echoes.
And that's in 2 Wednesdays.
Oh, and they had the chick from Criminal Intent in it too.
It's like 7 Wednesdays from now. It's July 25th.
Oh, July. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
June would have been 2 Wednesdays.
No, it's July. It's not airing until July. We filmed it April 25th. It's coming out like July 25th.
He drank a lot of orange
Or May
juice in that
25th.
movie.
May 25th.
If you're a Patreon for the Bloody Essentials, you can watch that now.
So
on
you
their
can.
Patreon. And I can because I am, but I still have.
I was in the damn thing and I can't see it till July.
All right. So my number one is obviously Demon. Were you doing the math while he was going?
Yeah.
All right. So do you have our aggregate list?
No.
I said we were doing the math. I thought you were.
There's too many. There's just too many that were on one list or two. Or,
All right. So he's gonna maybe he'll post it later.
I will. I'll do it later.
I just think how casually he was like, no.
Well, I can tell you right now, Tommy Jarvis is number one because he made it in all of our top threes. So
did Demon, didn't he?
no,
No, he had Demon way earlier.
Okay.
You had
I
Demon
see what you're
way
saying now.
earlier.
No, I
you
got
had him
you.
at like 10.
Yeah.
I wasn't factoring in the same time frame for all three of them, kind of thing. I know what you're saying.
Brodsky was high on 2 lists, but he wasn't even on the 3rd list.
Did you have Crazy Ralph at all?
I did. Did you?
Not you.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think so. So yeah, there.
It'd be a really difficult list to do. And maybe Ryan will take the time to do it later. We'll see.
I'll do it. It's going to take time because there's going to be like 30 names. So
Yeah.
whereas with the movies, I know it's 12.
Mm-hmm.
That was much easier.
Okay.
So it
Right
did
on.
take some homework.
So, anywho, we're gonna wrap this up. We're going about an hour and 10 minutes over, and I want to go tune into the Rumble app and watch Friday the 13th with Charles Sherrod. Next week we are going to be doing What is Horror. I know I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. We got Red Crank from Death Cure Society coming on, and we are going to talk about what is horror. What do you think makes a horror movie? What movies that are horror movies maybe aren't horror movies in your eyes, like in Ryan's eyes, Silence of the Lambs. And the only one I can think of. That's why I keep going to that when we talk about it, because I know most people think it is. I don't remember if Red Crank is or not. But there's some that he thinks is or thinks isn't that everybody else thinks is.
Silence of the Lambs was the big one he and I disagreed on that started this whole thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I couldn't remember where he came out on that, but
although we both absolutely love it,
yeah,
we just consider it a different kind of movie.
And he has some the other way around where we think they're horror and he thinks they're not. You know, and we're going to talk about it. It's going to be fun, and we're going to do that next week here, Thursday at 7. Week after that, I got a plan, but I haven't talked to you two about it, so we'll leave that off. And then we have guests that I'm talking to that may or may not come on at any given time, so we'll go with that. Either one of you guys, Brewster, you got anything you want to add before we get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Am I coming back next week?
Absolutely, buddy. As
All
long
right,
as you
man.
want to.
Yeah,
As long as
dude.
you're having fun.
Yeah, you got to.
I mean,
you got to feel the wrath of Crank just as much as me.
You got to earn your share of that 2 cents, buddy. By
Dang
next week, it could be 4.
Ooh,
what's that? I didn't hear that last part. What's that?
By next week, it could be 4 cents.
All right, let's do it, man.
That's Spreaker
Red-
money, baby.
dude, we're having Red Crank on. We're gonna be up to a whole dime.
Could be. So this episode will be on the Spreaker app real soon, maybe even as early as tonight. And I'm going to start posting the old episodes to YouTube so you don't have to watch them through the live tab. I just got to get to that while I'm sitting here doing nothing. Just bring up Mike Flanagan, Ziggy says. Yeah. Speaking of Mike Flanagan, he directed that movie that Stephen King wrote, The Life of Chuck or some shit. And I just figured that I figured when I heard about that movie, I pictured Crank as the meme for Randy. When Randy, you know the Randy from South Park, the meme where he's watching the porn on the computer and there's
Oh,
I'm gonna get Tiki to edit the heads and I'll send it to Crank.
No, I think I found the perfect clip for our promo this week with what you just said. I'm writing down the time when you said that so I can clip it out of there.
Okay, right on, buddy.
I just want Rick, Randy just, in case you missed it video. So
Right on, and we'll get that up. All right, but you got anything you wanted to add, Brewster? Or we getting out of here?
just the usual, man.
All right.
Stay cool, freaky frighteners.
That
yeah,
way.
and until next week, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Dr. Cruz was great, but he didn't give the iconic line from Part 7, and everybody knows what it was. Oh, yeah, there goes the neighborhood.